morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, November 12th, and starting with tomorrow's show, this is a special announcement. We're going to start incorporating some listener submissions for stories onto Wednesday shows. So submit any good ideas you have for stories before about 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, Tuesday night, and you may hear them on tomorrow's show. We'll also take them in DMs, and we'll send a tweet reminder, so get those submissions in there if you want to hear some stories.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, DM them.
What are we talking about? A little bit of a Hardo Hive Wednesday?
Mm-hmm. Is that a thing yet?
I think, I guess, yeah. Is that
The
what
Hive's a buzzing?
The Hive's a buzzing. Send us those stories, Hive. Hardo Hive's pants just exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're working on that for you, Hardo Hive. We're trying.
What's on the show today, Will?
Yeah, all right, so top stories. I'm going to do one about hot seat planet Earth. Fires are raging on both sides of the Pacific, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Not a fun story.
I'm sure that's just temporary.
That's like Mean Planet instead of Green Planet.
Yes. Mean Planet. It's like Blue Planet, except sad instead of water.
Sad Planet.
Yeah.
Right. And then Mark, Pat, and Wes will take us through a news buffet of other headlines. All right, let's talk about these wildfires. So, like I said in the intro, they are raging on both sides of the Pacific right now, with millions of acres of wildfires raging in Australia and the continuance of fire season in California. In Australia, that's really what we're going to spend most of the time talking about because we haven't talked about that yet. The fires have gotten... What's up?
I think it's pronounced Australia.
Yeah, Pat's right.
Yeah, just a small correction.
Yep, in Australia, the fires have gotten so bad that the state of emergency has been declared for the entire state of New South Wales, which is the most populous state in the country with 8 million inhabitants, and that includes Sydney, Australia, their largest city.
Wow.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, you may have heard of Sydney, Australia, the Opera House. In fact, 3 particular areas in New South Wales, including the greater Sydney area, which is shocking, are expected to be hit the worst, with citizens being encouraged to evacuate if they can, because fires can pop up anywhere at any time. Just like California, it's hot, dry, and windy, and looking like it's going to stay that way for at least the next week when the state of emergency is tentatively scheduled to expire. So,
All right,
not a good situation.
Here's the thing where I jump in and say something before I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, basically.
Okay, I'm in.
I'm just going to assume that a few people have died. So obviously we here at Hard Factor, we're very concerned with the fires. But if it killed a bunch of those giant spiders, I'm here for it.
You're in.
Yeah.
Just waiting for that.
Yeah. All right.
I was letting you have that one.
I want those spiders dead.
I hear they hiss when they get burned.
The funnel web spiders.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm sure that many spiders have died, but at least 3 people, yes, have died as well. So how bad are the fires in the state of New South Wales? Extremely fucking bad. Over 2 million acres of land burned so far, with over 100 active fires going on at any time. Smoke is choking people out pretty much everywhere, including Sydney, with some crazy videos of smoke settling over Sydney. And then, like I said, at least 3 dead citizens so far and dozens more injured. Just pretty much the worst situation imaginable, just wildfires wherever you look. And they expect fires in Western Australia to also be bad this year, so Perth and that area out there on the other side of the country. So this is the worst fire season in Australia since 2009, when they had something called, I think, like Black Saturday or something, where like over 150 people died. So
Jesus Christ.
That sucks.
Sorry.
Even in the populated areas, you're kind of screwed.
They got the hole in the ozone layer over there in Australia.
Well, not really. It's not just localized to them, because we will definitely go back to California now, where these Australian state of emergencies were declared just one day after a brush fire broke out in the Hollywood Hills just outside Warner Brothers studio in Los Angeles. So, that's kind of crazy. They're just popping up in the city of LA, or right around it, in America too. So Sydney and Los Angeles both just not safe, and the Bay Area too, in Northern California. So with all these fires raging all over the globe, humans in general have some work to do. Right now it's just California and Australia, but we're talking about this now, but if it gets hotter and drier, your town could be next. So you never know what could happen with the Earth heating up. It seems.
That was ominous.
Yeah, a little threatening PSA from Hard Factor Will there.
From Fire Will.
But you're next.
I think Warner Brothers, don't quote me on this, one of the major studios a couple years ago had a massive fire that burned down like their vault, and they didn't say anything about it. Like they lost like a bunch of musicians' masters and a bunch of like original prints of movies, and they just were like,
someone was
yeah,
mad.
nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Someone was mad they like rebooted some shitty franchise.
Oh, it's terrible. But they like lost all the stuff. I think Warner Brothers burns down like once every couple years. It's bad.
Well, it is California. So, they have been going on for a long time, but they do seem to be getting worse. All right, taking it to the internet. Ryan J. Jones, he's a detective on Facebook. He said, why don't you all actually do some journalism and find out what/who is starting the fires? Seems like a cause is never found.
Good point, Ryan J.
Yeah,
Jones.
that's a great point.
Except sometimes there is.
Right, and then Rachel Velasquez, she says, Ryan J. Jones, maybe you should pay attention more. It's usually the power companies that have caused most of the fires or Mother Nature. The Getty fire was started by a tree branch hitting a power line. Ryan J. Jones replies to that, and he says, can you point me to the NBC articles that says all the fires are caused by utility companies?
Will, I want to interject.
That's where Ryan gets his news.
I don't think Ryan actually wanted to be pointed to the articles here. I think that was a bit of a troll from Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Well,
Ryan, it was Zeus.
He doesn't believe that NBC is reported on these.
Right. And Denise Heller still trying to help Ryan J. Jones out. She doesn't get it yet, Pat. She says, Ryan J. Jones, Getty fire was started by a eucalyptus branch hitting power lines. And so I do think you're right. He was trolling these people. But while Ryan Jones seems confused, he's right to be. There's fires just burning houses down all over the entire fucking planet. And people need to get to the bottom of this because it doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. It's going to be in California, Australia. It's going to spread.
You know what this sounds like to me?
What's that?
Will's a little bit scared in Nevada.
He's a little bit scared in Nevada.
Scared in Nevada.
No.
Scared in Nevada.
Come on back to
Smell the
Austin.
smoke.
Come on down to Austin.
No. We do get smoked out. We do get smoked out from bad fires in Northern California.
You know what?
Austin's dry too. We get fires.
Yeah, you guys are next. So I don't think it would be like I'm not going to be upgrading by going to Austin.
It's like that's a lateral move, is what we call it.
Right, that's a complete lateral move. You guys,
that's a lateral move.
Yeah,
Flood's here too. I want to up the ante on what Ryan J. Jones said.
Okay,
because he's saying, why don't you actually do some journalism and find out what's causing these fires? Ryan J. Jones, the real question is, why don't you journalists do something to stop the fires instead of just writing about them? You know what I mean? Why don't you go volunteer as a volunteer firefighter?
Or why doesn't Ryan J. Jones?
I'm saying, why don't the journalists? They're just sitting there writing when they could be putting out fires. Think about it.
Yeah, we all could be. So,
good point, Pat.
We all need to think about it a little more.
Starting fires. No, wait.
Yeah.
No.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
All right, let's move on, guys. It's been a while since we last checked in on Hong Kong, and guess what? It's still really, really out of control over there.
No shit.
Yeah.
I thought they fixed it because they got rid of the clause to extradite completely.
They took it off the table. That didn't matter. It's now turned in from that to more of like a government revolution. They hate the government. They hate the
now
police.
realize they're just fucked.
Yeah. It's
They're like,
a totally different thing now.
We're going to be Chinese soon.
Non-stop rioting for the next several years.
Yes, exactly. So over the course of the weekend, as protesters continued to clash with police, a 21-year-old man was shot in the torso at point-blank range in broad daylight. And you can see the video online. It's pretty crazy.
Great.
It was a fucking traffic cop who shot him, and I mean, just like literally 5 feet away from him.
It was a weird video.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm getting sick of these fucking videos.
Yeah.
Of the deaths and stuff.
Was it a real bullet?
It was a real bullet.
I don't think he didn't die.
No, it was a real bullet. He didn't die. He was in critical condition up until yesterday. He's now expected to live, but he was on shaky ground for a while. Also, a 22-year-old student died after he fell from the third level of a parking garage to the second, sparking backlash from protesters claiming the police presence delayed paramedics' response time to the student, which is why he died. So they... there's their backlash about that. And in another incident, protesters were on the other side of being pieces of shit. And when they confronted a man who was yelling, "You are all not Chinese," the man was not so lucky. And as he was yelling this at the or the pro-democracy protesters, the Hong Kongers, he was doused in a flammable liquid and set on fire in broad daylight.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, they're getting worked up.
He was yelling, "You're not Chinese."
You're not all Chinese.
Yeah. Right. Don't they not want to be Chinese? Isn't that the deal? They don't want to get absorbed by China? Was he saying
Chinese.
in a positive way? Like, you all are not Chinese.
I don't think he was saying in a positive way.
He wasn't saying in a positive way.
You don't get lit on fire if you're trying to like say you guys are awesome.
I've never been to Asia.
I think he was saying some of them didn't have a right to be demonstrating because they wouldn't have gotten extradited anyway.
He's taunting them, and he's saying, you're all, I'm Chinese, you're not, you're fucked.
You're just a bunch of punks out here protesting because you want to be pieces of shit. So he was set on fire, and he's in critical condition.
Jesus.
So that was a strike against the protesters of those maybe who were on their side to begin with. They're not all great people over there, just trying to change the world for the better.
It's like a war zone, basically.
Yeah.
It sounds like
it's cops versus protesters. It's cat and mouse all day long. Nothing can get. They're fucking with the transit system. They're fucking with normal business, the way of life of people. It's bad.
Do you think someone's just rolling with flammable liquid?
Yes, a lot of
absolutely.
them.
They're setting fires everywhere.
What are you,
Pat.
nuts?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Molotov cocktails. Yeah, that's
no, they set fires
Have
everywhere.
you ever been involved in protests? You claim to talk about them a lot.
I made a sign for the Women's March.
Yeah.
Nice.
So fire is one of the
Nice.
fire is a protester's like number one go-to.
Right, that's the first thing you bring besides pants. Is like
and rocks.
fire.
And a sign.
Yeah.
Don't
And
forget
a
about
mask.
sign.
All right, so Carrie Lam, Hong Kong's chief
Jacket,
executive, said that the government would not yield to the protesters and that the unrest was bringing Hong Kong to the, quote, brink of no return. She also said, quote, if there is any wishful thinking that by escalating violence that the Hong Kong government will yield to pressure to satisfy protesters' so-called demands, I'm making this clear that will not happen. So she's saying, you guys are just fighting a losing battle here, and more of you are going to continue to die.
I agree with her. I'm still obviously on the side of Hong Kong over China. I think that most people are.
Yeah.
But they're fighting a losing battle. America's not going to help them.
Yeah. So what do you do? Just give up?
Yes. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's a contract that ends at a certain point.
Right. Because of the contract, this is a thing that they agreed to decades ago.
Right.
Like, NATO's not going to help them. America's not going to help them. This is something that they've agreed to. So unless if China plays ball and takes away these extradition things and toes the line until the 2024, whatever it is, then there's nothing anyone can do. Right. So Hong Kong is fighting a losing battle.
So you're saying just
move.
Right. Yeah.
Move.
Well, yeah. Or just
deal with
enjoy your days.
Right. Enjoy your days or move.
They gave them what they wanted to begin with, which should have been enough to maybe quell the protesters a little bit. But now they're just heightening it up, calling against police brutality.
Start to brace for your new reality.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah, because it is going to change for sure.
All right, let's move on to something a little more fun. Listen, if you have not signed up for Predict It yet, now is the time to get in on it. We have a Democratic debate coming up in 8 days and another on December 19th, right before the holidays. And I promise you, there's no better way to watch these debates than by betting on them and watching our live commercial break coverage. It is a lot of fun. We will have some great prop bets for you for some immediate wins. It is seriously the most fun you can have with politics. So go to predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20. Get $20 on us when you deposit at least $20. So if you've been a listener for a while, you know we have been hammering the no impeachment in 2019. That price for no is at 54 cents. So still plenty of meat left on that bone if you get in on it now. It's mid-November. Holidays are coming up. Maybe they don't want to hurt the economy by scaring people during the holidays, perhaps.
Giving that meaty bone.
Yeah, so still hammer the no impeachment in 2019. Other markets that you can really make some great money on if you have patience are the Democratic state primary elections. A majority of these markets have the front runner at under 50 cents, many under 40 cents. So great time to get in now if you think you know who will take the lead in the polls. Again, go to predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20 for free money on us. Legal in all 50 states. Get your money within days and start making money on politics. Go ahead, Mark.
Let me add something here to this. We're gonna start doing tips. I didn't clue you in on this.
Hot tips.
Okay.
So we're gonna do like a tip, like the 20 days of Christmas, or 20 like a tip a day leading up to Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So let me do the first tip.
Go for it.
My tip is, take your time, peruse, and when you think you see a market you like, go with your gut, but also read the rules of the market, which are usually 2 to 3 sentences and very clear. So make sure you read the rules. It'll tell you when you're going to get paid out and how.
Good tip. Strong tip.
Good tip.
Yeah.
Great tip.
Yeah.
I was going to say Biden in Nevada to win the primary in Nevada is looking sexy. Will tell you they like a little bit more moderate candidate out there, not so extreme left like Warren maybe.
Well, he's just been leading the polls out here so far.
And he's leading the polls.
No one that's going to abolish prostitution.
I got money in that one.
That's 2 tips for you.
There you go.
All right, guys, we have another Bolivia update for you. It's back-to-back here after coming in late on this one. Sorry about that. It turns out Mexico is offering asylum to now ex-president Evo Morales, the guy who wildly cheated in the October 20th election that he won through cheating. It seems the tipping point for Morales to make the decision to step down was the head of the military in Bolivia calling for him to step down, which I mentioned yesterday, which was the military guy basically saying, you're going to get fucked up by us if you don't.
Right, that's a coup. That's a full.
Right.
That's
the military's coming after your ass.
America. That's what a coup is.
Yes,
that's a literal definition.
And all
of
of Morales' supporters would agree with you, Pat. Opponents of Morales have been celebrating across Bolivia, though, setting off fireworks and waving national flags since his resignation, while supporters who are calling it a coup clashed with police in the cities of La Paz and El Alto. And some Argentine and Bolivian supporters of Morales took to the streets of Buenos Aires on Monday, very, very upset. Some fun facts about Morales we haven't gotten to yet. He's a former coca farmer, and he was
cocaine.
Yes, correct. And he was first elected in 2006. A lot of people apparently in Bolivia are cocaine farmers, coca farmers. There's a cocaine farming union. He was praised, which he's worked for 38 years prior to being
They got
president.
a union?
Yes, he was praised
it's
over
a
his
staple product. I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I've done
absolutely. It's like their main exporter and import and all or whatever export. He was praised over his political career for fighting poverty and improving Bolivia's economy, but he drew controversy. This is another fun one. By defying constitutional term limits to run for a fourth term in October's election. So the election
he was jacked
So
up.
the election he cheated on to win was unconstitutional. He shouldn't have ran in the first place. In fact, he shouldn't have been able to run for his third term as a constitution was passed in 2009 while he was president that he asked people to vote for that limited presidents to 2 terms. In 2016, the people voted to uphold that term limitation, saying, yes, we still want 2 terms, Morales. But in 2017, Morales contested with the highest court in Bolivia, who sided with Morales. So no wonder why everyone's pissed at this guy.
See, here's the
he
problem.
shouldn't have been able to run.
Overstayed his welcome.
When
yeah.
you're the president of a cocaine union, you're jacked up.
Yeah.
And when your term is coming to an end, you don't want it to end.
He's power hungry.
You don't want it to
He was
end.
power
You
hungry.
also
He
don't
started-
make the clearest decisions. Like he kept backtracking. You've noticed, like
Well,
he
he-
kept
Clear in
changing
my
his
head.
mind.
He was for the small people. He was for
Right.
and then
Now
the
he
power got
changes
to his
it.
head, and he became like a fucking dictator.
Classic
crazy
cocaine
guy.
behavior.
So last thing on this, a little fun fact about Bolivia: the private cultivation of the coca plant is legal in Bolivia. People chew the coca leaves and drink coca tea as cultural practice, especially the mountainous or I call fun regions of Bolivia. It is illegal to possess processed cocaine, but it is decriminalized up to 50 grams. So that's enough to have the biggest party of the
Damn.
decade. So you can roll around with 50 grams of cocaine and just get like a slap on the
Last me
wrist.
10 years.
What the hell are we doing
I've
Peru,
always
I looked it up. Peru is the only other place. Peru and Bolivia,
Yeah.
you can buy cocaine in Peru and do it on the streets legally.
Yeah. I've always wanted to chew. You see those like people with the hats in Peru, and they're just chewing coca leaves all day long. It looks like a lot of fun.
At like a
Except
7-Eleven
their teeth
market.
are all falling out.
Yeah. Well, that's bad.
Yeah,
All right.
but
I would love to get West.
So
down
sorry.
to Peru.
Now we're gonna do more Bolivia updates.
Get a hat.
it looks fun.
All right, like you guys have all been in long-term relationships, right?
Sure.
Of course.
Yeah. You ever take a road trip with your lady?
Of course.
You know how sometimes when you're on a long drive with your lady, after a while you wish you could just take in the scenery and enjoy each other's company in silence, but you know how women always be talking,
Yeah.
right? Well, a 70-year-old Oklahoma man discovered how to enjoy both his wife's company and the peace and quiet of the open road with this little life hack, and that's don't let a silly thing like your wife's death interrupt your road trip.
Whoa.
You following me?
Are you talking about like Vegas, like the vacation movie when the grandma was dead in the back?
Right. Exactly.
Didn't see that one, but maybe Rodney Puckett
You
did.
didn't see Vacation?
That was the original Vacation.
I've missed a lot of stuff.
Holiday Road. You never.
You didn't see National Lampoon's
It's one of those things
Vacation?
that I've seen it like,
Okay.
it's been
All
on
right.
TV so
Gotcha,
much
gotcha.
that,
Right.
I've caught clips of it.
Keep going.
Anyway, all right, so Rodney Puckett, he was arrested back in May in Arizona as he was mid-road trip, and this after a Carl's Jr. worker, that's a fast food chain in the West, for those of you guys who don't know, a Carl's Jr. worker called in a tip that there was something off about Puckett when he went through the drive-thru, and my guess, it may have been the fact that Puckett's 74-year-old dead wife, Linda, was naked and upside down in the front seat of his car.
She was upside
Whoa.
down.
Naked and upside down.
Either that or
That's
the
not
fact
funny.
that Puckett was in his tighty whities.
Fucked up.
Yeah, he was in his underwear as well.
So he lost his mind.
Nude wife to his right, underwear.
Was he eating her yet?
No, that's why he was at Carl's Jr.
Was he
How many
heartbroken,
days
or was he just
had
is
he
he
had-
just a psychotic motherfucker?
Well, here's the best part about this couple. They're in their 70s, right? That you think maybe they've been married a long time. No, they met about 8 years ago in an elderly singles group. Bet they wish they didn't.
Yeah.
Our boy apparently went on the road trip without his medication.
There it is.
Oh yeah, no shit.
There it is.
Yeah, Puckett told officers that Linda, his wife, died of natural causes.
I don't believe him.
In their El Paso hotel room, But he wasn't going to let a little thing like death spoil their road trip, so he wheeled her out in a luggage cart and tossed her in the vehicle, and he kept on trucking, Will.
Oh, man.
I don't believe him. I would investigate for murder.
Yeah, it was. A lot of people think it was murder.
That's a sad story.
Yeah. Puckett was sentenced to 15 days in an Arizona jail for concealing the dead body of his wife in his vehicle. And this
which gives them 15 days to find out if he's a murderer or not.
Well, he's already served 180. So he's out in 15, boys.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wheels up.
They can always charge him for murder later. Wheels up.
Jesus. It was really fishy, you know.
Women
there was
be
a
talking.
woman that was naked upside down in the passenger seat.
They always be talking at you.
Yeah. All right, guys. A Virginia doctor, our home state, who had a long rap sheet of lawsuits for malpractice and being a real piece of shit, has been accused of performing hysterectomies on women without their consent. For those of you who don't know, a hysterectomy is the removal of the woman's uterus. And while it is common procedure, around 1/3 of women
but
will
tell people before
that's
you do
menopause, right? That's like
it's a menopause thing.
Or
Yeah.
if you're like precancerous.
Yeah, but you tell people you're going to do that.
Well, certainly you would know, yeah.
If you have uterine cancer, menopause.
Well, yeah, you usually ask for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This story is this guy's doing it without letting his patients know.
Yes.
So they just wake up from surgery and he's like, oh, by the way, I removed all your ovaries.
Right.
Yep.
Wait. I thought this story was that he wasn't licensed to do it.
No.
No.
He was a licensed doctor that
was
was doing hysterectomies without anyone's consent because he felt like it.
Hungry for them uteruses.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, he was fired from a hospital back in the 80s, and he lost his license for tax fraud, but I think he got reinstated. So anyway, 1/3 of women will have it by the time they're 60. It's still something you want to know about if it's going to happen to you, whether not when you wake up from anesthesia. A completely different procedure has been done to you. So this douche, 69-year-old Javed Perwaiz, was also falsifying medical records to perform unnecessary surgeries, so maybe just to gain profit, like, hey, you need this really expensive surgery. Oh. And in fact, they didn't. He once did 30 surgeries in one day.
Whoa.
And in one instance...
30 surgeries in a day?
Yeah, he's a maniac.
What bad news.
Workhorse.
Yeah. He's real bad news.
Guinness record holder.
I think most of these people were on Medicaid. And
most ovaries in a day.
Yeah.
Slicing them up.
In one instance, a female patient who was treated by Perwaiz for an...
You never want to hear a surgeon be like, next!
Right, exactly. She was treated by Perwaiz for an ectopic pregnancy and endometriosis. Found out he had burnt her fallopian tubes to the nubs, therefore making it impossible for her to ever naturally conceive a child again.
Oh, my goodness.
Fuck this asshole.
So he's got 8 malpractice lawsuits. And imagine this
he was
guy
playing God with women's reproductive rights the whole time.
Yeah. So, I mean, I imagine the guy's Yelp review would be like, 1 star, took my uterus out without asking me about it. 1 star, wish I could give negative 1,000 stars.
But he
because
was quick.
He killed my chances of having children ever again by burning my fallopian tubes. 1 star, pierced my bladder during operation, causing me to be in the hospital for 6 days longer after he illegally removed my uterus. These are all things that actually happened.
So that wasn't his Yelp.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't his Yelp.
2 stars. I can't have kids anymore, but it was very quick.
Yeah.
10-minute surgery.
Very cheap, very quick. So
but
he's
the
in
office
jail.
wasn't cold.
Yeah.
He's in jail.
Forever?
Yeah, probably for the rest of his life because he's 69. So
Fuck that
what
guy.
a psycho. Yeah.
Fuck
Wow.
that guy.
Yep.
Jesus.
Does it get any lighter? Are we going
Where'd you find that story?
We should mail that guy our
I
pubes.
think it was like one of the main news stories.
Yeah, let's mail that guy our pubes for sure.
No, I
All
know
right,
it's just a dark day. I don't know if we have any light at the end of the tunnel here either.
No, not in this one. All right, guys, it's still happening. A man repeatedly punched a woman in Nashville over an argument over Popeye's re-released chicken sandwich.
God.
You can see on a video the man was shoved by one woman he was yelling at, and then he turns to another woman who he starts yelling at, and then she shoves him as well. But after she shoved him, he starts immediately firing haymakers at her while the first woman throws her chicken sandwich she probably waited over an hour on at his face.
Damn.
Quite the video. Also last week in Columbia, another video went viral of in Columbia, Tennessee, a Popeyes
Wait, that was
employee.
in Nashville?
Yeah.
They have like famous,
Hot
really
chicken.
good hot chicken like in Nashville. You're gonna fight over a fucking Popeye sandwich in Nashville? Give me a
Well, it's
fucking
the
break.
Popeyes chicken sandwich.
It's
so.
Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Okay.
I mean, you think everyone goes to the...
I just think there's
They
tons
do.
better
It's
options.
literally the thing. It's the thing in Nashville.
It
It's
is.
a hot chicken sandwich.
Well, clearly not, because there was a line, like, if you look at the video, there's tons of people there.
Idiots.
Also, last week in Columbia, Tennessee, a Popeyes employee body slammed a woman and broke 6 of her ribs. I'm sure you guys have seen this video. Broke her kneecap and shattered her arm. He just took her outside, like, and just fucking body slammed her right out front
Over
of
a
the
chicken
Popeyes.
sandwich?
Well, it was outside of a Popeyes, so we can assume that she was mad. she was mad. Allegedly, she was mad that the chicken sandwich was taking so
These
long.
Popeyes employees are like Hong Kong police right now.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Tired of it.
That's not a bad analogy. Yeah. Not only are fights breaking out everywhere over the chicken sandwich, like some sort of zombie invasion, but a Popeyes employee was caught making chicken sandwiches above a trash can, guys. There are some disgusting photos taken this past Friday at a Popeyes restaurant in Fairfax, Virginia, our hometown, that show an employee behind the counter putting together a ton of chicken sandwiches on a large tray that's resting on top of a giant, large plastic trash can, the ones that you have in restaurants.
Gross.
And the trash can was exposed by a large gap, so all of the trash was just floating up in the air, getting on
trash
the
air all over your chicken sandwich.
I bet someone ate that fucking chicken sandwich.
Oh, it was hundreds of sandwiches.
Yeah.
No, he was doing it.
Oh, he just ran out of. It wasn't a one-off.
He was doing this because there wasn't enough room. There weren't enough employees.
Yeah,
so
he needed to make
it was quicker for him to make the sandwiches on top of the trash can.
Resourceful.
Apparently, this was also in the customer's line of sight as well. But I guess
people still in line for that shit.
The sandwich is that damn good. They don't care. Just get it to me quicker.
I want what I can't have.
Is this one of the trash can ones? No? Okay, fine.
By the way, the one I had last weekend tasted like it was made above a trash can, guys. So this doesn't surprise me. This just might be the protocol.
I thought he was selling for extra out the back door.
No, he was just trying to make them fast. Here's something that's not gross. It's Movember, the month formerly known as November. Barstool is proud to be working with Movember to raise funds and awareness for men's health. Movember is the leading charity dedicated to changing the face of men's health around the world, and it's also changing the face of men's face around the world, right? Changing their faces, because we're all getting mustaches. This Movember, whatever mustache you grow will save a bro. Your support will change the face of men's health, raising awareness and funds for prostate cancer, testicular cancer, mental health, and suicide prevention. This year, Barstool's own Donnie Does is growing out his Mo to save a bro. We got Hard Factor Will with a Mo. Everyone's got a Mo. I saw Barstool Carl with a Mo. Join him, Donnie, on the Barstool Movember team, and help us change the face of men's health. For every $50 that you fundraise on our team, you get an entry to win a trip for two to join us at the Army vs. Navy live college football show in December, where both teams will tie because everyone loves them equally. Head to Movember.com /Barstool to join our team, grow your mustache, and fundraise for your chance to win that grand prize.
Love it. All right, guys, it happened again. Another senseless goddamn accident happened, so some asshole couple could tell the world the outcome of their post-coital coin flip in a new and fun way for socials. I'm talking about a gender reveal accident.
Oh, no.
Big time, boys. You guys remember that story from last week when the gender reveal pipe bomb killed that grandma?
Yeah. Sick one, yeah.
Well, load up the hopper, boys, because back on September 7th, this news just breaking now, in Turkey, Texas.
They were too embarrassed to tell us before.
Some guy I'd never like to meet crashed his plane while trying to do an elaborate gender reveal where he dropped 350 gallons of pink water into a field. Cool.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, that's how you know it's a girl.
So what? Wait, what was the point of that?
These things so much.
Well, Will, this gender maverick wanted to let everyone know that he was having a fucking girl, and he also had a pilot's license and some
and
water.
that he was a shitty pilot.
And hair dye. I mean, food coloring.
Did he die? That shouldn't have said.
No, he didn't die.
Okay,
he was
God.
a shitty pilot, though.
Yeah.
So this fucking asshole didn't account for the literally 2.5 tons of pink water that he was carrying in his tiny airplane.
Adds a little weight, yeah.
350 gallons is 2.5 fucking tons. In addition to, not only did he have the 2.5 tons, but he also had another idiot along for the ride while sitting butt to nuts in his single-seat aircraft.
Was he going to let the whole town know?
Yeah.
Just spraying the whole town with pink water?
Yeah.
350 gallons?
Yeah, so he stalled out.
And floods a house.
Yeah.
And he
I'm going to paint
crashed.
the sky pink.
Went in for a low pass. I'm sure the pink dye was fucking environmentally safe too. Yeah, right. The passenger, which for some reason I'm assuming is the pilot's cousin, only suffered minor. I don't know. It didn't say, but
Good guess. Yeah.
He only suffered minor injuries, while the pilot unfortunately was unscathed. So he
had nothing.
Nothing.
He learned no lessons.
Just a wrecked fucking airplane, and that's
not even a knock on the head.
That's gonna do it for. Yeah, he's free to breed.
Yeah.
That's gonna do it for Hard Factor. Hey, if you guys haven't, click the subscribe button on whatever podcast app you're listening to, Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Do us a favor and give us a rating or review. It really helps us with our growth metrics or whatever. And tell a friend about Hard Factor. We couldn't do this show without the support of the Hardo Hive. See, maybe. And we'd like to thank you for that. Remember to
what's that?
That's the Hive buzzing. That's the Hive buzzing. Remember to DM us your story submissions for tomorrow's show, and have a great fucking day.